Hi, John. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yep. Um, yeah, where are they? They're
Maybe they are
here.
still at work, sir.
Oh,
Especially
okay.
Grace, and maybe Jeff is still driving.
Yeah. Jeff and Grace, they are both working. Yeah, I think Hasiba is joining anytime now. So yeah, I'll just be idle for a while. I'm checking these documents and stuff. Yeah, once someone joins, we can, I think, proceed.
Okay, sir.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hello, Grace.
Hello.
Let's wait for the others and also Sir Jeff. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi,
Problem.
Grace. How are you? I'm just here. Too many documents to work on.
Mhm.
Very busy today. We've been in a lot of meeting since 5 a.m. today. Before even before 5 a.m. Very busy.
Did your embassy thing work out like you're hoping
Yeah,
for?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, it's also during that day. That was also my daughter's moving up ceremony. So it's like um uh I maximized the time during that day. So hopefully
Okay.
my visa would be released yeah, maybe a month or two from now. Um I don't see any problems at all. I'll be arriving in Prague September, so it's already cold by then.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah, less tourists during summer. There are so many tourists in there, especially in the city center. Okay, hi Asiba. Welcome to the meeting. How are you?
Hello everyone. I'm good, thank you.
Yep.
How about
Excellent.
you
Thank you
all
very much
doing?
for being on time. Yep. I'm very excited for today's session because the topic is challenging. So
Yeah,
I'll be gauging your response or um yeah, how would you receive the lecture today? So it's a challenge for me. I need to make it in a way that you can understand the process clearly. So yeah. And
thank
there
you.
are lots of challenging questions I've prepared during the labs, and
I'm
most of my
sure you would
students.
have a really tough exam as well.
For the exams, don't worry because the exam in Python would be applied in a sense that I'll be giving you a data set, and you have to do analysis with it. Um, for now, what we're going through are the basics and fundamentals of Python, but we'll have a section starting next week about Python for analytics. So in there, the focus would be okay. You have this data set. What do you need to do with it, and how will you do those uh, like pre-processing stuffs, analysis, and so on.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
great. Like,
Well, the funny thing is during interviews for analytics and data science positions, they were asking these kinds of things actually, like these fundamentals of Python. Um, well, sometimes they'll be giving you a data set and then you have to analyze it. But definitely there would be this kind of questions about dictionaries, about lists, about conditional statements. So they're expecting that you know those fundamentals. Okay. So it's already 8 minutes past the hour. I don't want to keep you for that long. I think we should start. Let me share my screen. There's this odd thing. I'm not sure if you feel it. It seems like time is very fast right now. It's like passing by just very very quickly. Imagine we're almost like two-thirds of the class, and this is for like 4 months, right? Time is passing by very fast, and we're aging very fast. I'm not sure if just me being so critical of things, but I just realized that time is really passing by very quickly. Don't you feel it,
You know,
Grace?
they say that time passes by fast, even quicker as you get older. Like
Yeah,
it will feel like it's um going way faster because like imagine if you're a baby, you've been alive for 1 month, like 1 month is your whole life experience, right? But if you're
yeah.
97 years old, like 1 month it feels like you just blinked your eyes. So
And
with
and it,
time passage, you know,
well,
it's like that.
it's bad for us. I mean, um, most of our time, it's being invested on working, um, getting money, and I feel that we're losing time to enjoy the things that we love to do. Like during the weekends, it's like that you sleep and then all of a sudden it's Monday again. You know that feeling? Yeah, anyway, maybe I'm just being too critical about it, but yeah, we're aging fast, and those times we cannot we cannot buy them again. There's no way for us to get them again, even if how rich we are. So
Especially if you have babies, so you know how
yeah,
quick the
yeah.
time passes by. Like
Maybe it's also because
when
of
you see their
technology.
growth,
Mhm.
you realize like how fast the time goes. Like they
Yeah,
grow like really fast.
you can get back the time again. So basically, the time that we had lost forever. So basically, we're dying. We're dying each day, right? Like for example, you have a lifespan of 80 years. So the first 30 years that you've lived, you cannot. There's no way for you to get it back again. So in the remaining 30 years, it would not be the same length, even though technically it's just the same, but it feels a bit really way not a bit, but way shorter. So anyway, enough of that. It's just me again being so weird. So welcome to the um, class number 5 of Python, and for today, our plan is to discuss conditional statements. And as you can see, I only have one plan for today, and that is to make sure that you will understand the concept, the framework, and the logic behind conditional statements. Because it's not easy. It's not easy to convert um, your thinking, your ideas into codes and mixing it up with logic. Okay. Hi, Jeff. Welcome to the meeting. So we just started. I think I wasted like a minute or two of Grace's and Hasiba's time talking about um, unrelated things. Apologies for that. So, what are conditional statements? A conditional statement is a Boolean expression that, if true, executes a piece of code. Okay? So, if you have time conditions there. As long as it's true, the succeeding codes that you have will be executed. Okay? So I have here a visualization, a diagram of a conditional statement. So there's a conditional statement, and then if it's true, you will go to path one. Typically, this would be another statement. It could be on the form of printing something or doing a computation. And if it's not, you'll be going to path two. So this path number two could be another conditional statement. Okay? Remember that. This path two, which is when the condition, the first condition is false, okay, doesn't necessarily mean that the conditional statement will come to an end. Okay, it could be that you have a series of conditional statements right here. So this one would be the first, then you have another one in here, and then another one and another one. Okay, so you might be familiar with the if, if, else statement, that structure. Okay, so I made it this as simple as this, just to have a visual, okay, of the concept of conditional statement. So it allows programs to branch out into different paths based on whether Boolean expression result in either a true or a false outcomes. Okay, so we can also specify another condition that, okay, what will you do? What will the system do if your conditional statement is false? So it's not always that it will execute when it's true. Okay, so the if statement. So we always start with the if, okay, in every conditional statement. So it actually follows the typical logic we have, the way we think things. Okay, so the simplest conditional statement that we can write is the if statement. It has two parts: the condition, okay, which is basically an argument after the if, okay, and then the code to be executed if it's either a true or a false. Or if it's a false, then you'll have another series of if statement. Okay, if it's true, then what code will be executed, okay, in the next line. So the colon here, okay, after the condition is necessary to specify the beginning of the if statement's code to be executed, but the parentheses are optional. So if when I'm writing conditional statements, I don't usually use the parentheses. Okay, so I just write it directly without it. So the code to be executed must be indented one tab to the right, and it's automatic. It's automatic. The system would automatically assign an indentation once you hit a tab or an enter after this colon. So basically here, again, I want to stress out the structure, the framework of the conditional statement here. So you have the if statement that identifies the condition, and then the colon identifies, okay, what should be done if it's true. Okay? If it's false, then you can add another layer of a conditional statement. Okay? So you can add any number of layers depending on your goal. You can have multiple ifs in there, and it's perfectly fine. So here I have a very basic example of a conditional statement that says that if 3 is less than 4, print 3 is less than 4. Now, is this a true? Is it a true statement? The answer is yes. So it will print 3 is less than 4. What happens if it's a false? It will do nothing. Okay? Unless we put another condition at the end. Do you follow? Do you follow, guys? The structure and the idea, the concept of a conditional statement. Questions? Was that something clear, or anything that confused you with? Okay. Again, the very basic structure is you have a condition that you set in place after the if word, and then After that, you end it with a colon that that identifies that the next line should have an indentation of one tab, and then you can put the code in that second line, the code that you want to execute, okay, if that condition in your first line is true. Okay, so let's have another example right here. So if the condition is true, execute the code to be executed. Otherwise, skip it and move on. So here it would skip print. Okay, if you type here, if 5 less than 4, print 3 is less than 4. So we know that 5 is greater than 4. So basically the condition is actually um, false. So in the system, it doesn't see this. Okay, this is invisible to the system. It would skip that. Okay, so the only time that it would see that second line is when your condition is true. Otherwise, it would just skip it, regardless of how many lines of codes that you have after that colon. It would just skip it once it encounters that this is the condition is false. Okay, so here we are initializing a value. So this is called initialization. So basically, it's just assigning a value to a variable, but they have that fancy word for it, especially when you're working with conditional statements. So you have initialized that the value of num would be equal to 5. Now, here we have a condition. Note that the parenthesis is not needed. Okay, it's not a requirement that you have that. Um, what are the advantages of putting that parenthesis? The way I see it, there's no like clear advantage of adding it. It's just like an additional um, a thing that would um, consume your time. I don't usually use that. I just put it here it in here for an example, as an example. So this condition is true. Okay, if number or num is equal to 5. So as you can see, this has double equality symbol. Okay, because this is a statement. We are asking is num equal to 5. So the result is a Boolean expression, right? So it's either true or false. So remember that the condition that you have in your if statement must be a Boolean expression. The result could only be either a true or a false. Okay, that's what you can only put in there. So we know that this is true. So it would execute the next line. That is to print the number is equal to 5. Okay. However, we have here another statement that you can see. If num is greater than 5, obviously we know that it's not, so this is false. It would skip this code that you have in here, and you don't have any other codes after that, so um, nothing will be done for this second thing. So the only thing that would be printed would be this part. That is the number is equal to 5. Do you follow? Do you follow, guys? We will be extending the idea that okay, if it's false, then you go to another condition and so on until you find something that would satisfy the condition or make it a true, and then you will be able to execute um, uh, uh, a line, okay, a computation or whatsoever. Questions, guys? Questions? Please don't hesitate if something is unclear. Okay, so let's proceed. I'm interpreting your silence as um, everything is clear. Okay, so we can use logical operators to create more complex conditions in the if statement. For example, we may want to satisfy multiple clauses for the expression to be true. So remember what we did with SQL, right? We use this different logical operators. We can use greater than, less than. We can specify complex conditions by using and or. We can we can do multiple ends. We can do multiple ors. What code, what syntax have we used in order to specify multiple ors in SQL? Can you remember? Can you remember that code? Like for example, if a value is equal to either x, y, or z, you do this. What what syntax or what code are we using to do that? We typically use that in the where clause, right? Or in the having clause. Anyone? Anyone who can remember? Jeff, do you remember how we specify multiple ors, multiple options in SQL? So instead of writing whether is equal to this or x is equal to this or x is equal to this, with end, it's restrictive because with end, you have to specify all of the conditions. You have to satisfy all of the conditions that you have specified. However, with the or,
Was it in bracket?
exactly, exactly, that's in, right? So what we used before was, okay, where x in parentheses options. Do you remember that? So we can do the similar thing in Python. We can do the similar thing in which we can use the in operator in order to specify. Okay, these are the multiple options in which the 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 value could be true. Okay, so let's start first with the and or. Okay, so I've stated here that it's very similar to how we use them in SQL. So we are initializing here a value of num, which is equal to 12. If num, okay, divided by 2 is equal to 6, and num divided by 3 is equal to 4, then do this. Okay, this hash marks that is invisible to the system, it will just skip that. Once both of these conditions, where's my pen? Okay, it doesn't show my pen. So if both of these conditions are satisfied, then that's the only time that it would print this statement that the condition is met. So this will execute. Okay? It's very restrictive. Once you use end, all of the conditions that you set in place, that you put in the if statement, must be satisfied. Okay? But if you want to be less restrictive, that okay, um, even one of the conditions that you have in the if statement could be true in order to print the or to execute the next code, then you should use or. Okay, we've learned that in SQL, the main difference between and or. So here I've included an example for the or. So if num is less than is divided by 5 and it is equal to 2, or num divided by 6 is equal to 2, then print this. So notice that both are printed, this part right here and the last one, because we have satisfied one condition and we used or in here. Okay, and here we both satisfied the first and the second condition. Do you follow? Is this something clear, guys? With or, just one condition. If it's true, then um, the next block of code would be run. With end, all of the conditions that you have placed in there, because you can put as many end as you want, as you need. All of those must be satisfied in order um, to run the next block of code. Okay. Try to look carefully into the structure, guys. Okay, let me go back to it. If condition, code to be executed. I want you to look at it carefully. Okay, here's a practice that we will be doing together. Okay, create a variable called zip code and assign it the value of 1001. So this first bullet, this is called initialization, right? In which we'll be creating this variable zip code and assign 1001 to it, right? And then step number two is to write the conditional statement. When we see this conditional statement, we are referring to the if statement, right? So once it is true, it will execute, okay, print the message, zip code belongs to New York City if zip code is equal to 1001. Now, we will modify that after we have created this conditional statement. We will modify that so that the message will be printed if a zip code is either 1001, 1002, or 1003. Okay? So, John, can you do a screenshot? Okay, so let me switch to my collab and yeah. Okay. Collab. Okay. Where was that thing that I used before? I think this is the one. Okay. Can you see my screen, guys? Okay. So let's see. What do we have before? Let me. It says failed to open the message. Okay. So conditional statements. Let's see. So conditional statements. Statements. Now, the first thing that we have to do, so let's call it step one. Uh, we need to create a zip code variable. The zip underscore code will be the first variable, and then assign the value 1001 to it. Okay. Then with run conditional statement that prints the message. Okay, so let me do that. If zip code is equal to 1001. So if zip code that we have created above is equal to 1001. Okay, colon, what will you do? Print. What do we need to print? This zip code belongs to New York City. Okay, so basically, this is just an exact clone of what we've discussed, right? Earlier. So this is initialized, assign a value to it, and then, well, we know that this is true. So this would be executed, okay? So let's run this one. We're expecting that we should see this, because we know that this is true. So this is actually step number two already. Step number two, right? Okay. Mm. Oh, why did it not print, guys? Can you tell me the error? Not an error, but can you tell me what happened here? Why am I not receiving any print?
You're 1 0 short in your zip code.
Sorry, Grace.
You're 1 0 short in your zip code in
Yeah,
line 7.
I actually missed that. I have one missing zero in there. So basically, earlier it was a false, right? So that was a false earlier. Let me see. So that's why we did not receive any output. Oh, sorry. Yeah, there we go. So it was a false earlier. So the system did not proceed to this part. This is the only time that it would proceed to printing this sentence is when this is actually true. Okay. And any questions with that? Now we have step number 3, right? So let's put the step number 3. Let me check the chat box again. So the step number 3 is we modify the condition so that the message will be printed if zip code is either 1001, 10002, or 10003. Okay, so how do we do that? So any ideas from the group? So the condition, so it refers to the if statement, the if line. So how do we put that into writing? That whether the zip code is 1001, 1002, or 1003. So what we can do is if zip code equal to 10001, or right, zip code equal 10002, or zip code equal to 10003, right?
Is there
Like
like
that.
a between function that could work there? Like
Yeah, I want you to think about that.
is between 1001 and 10003?
We can write it in that way. So let me do that for you. That's actually possible, but um, we'll not be using the word between. Okay, so we'll use a different logical operator there. Okay, so let's see if this would work. So we are expecting a colon, of course, after the if statement. So it worked. Now, Grace was saying that can we use another operator in between this so that it would be more elegant in a way. So what we can do if zip code greater than or equal 1001 and less than or zip code, or it should be lowercase, zip code 1003. It's not really more elegant. I think it's equally lengthy. Yeah, I think this would also work, right? Yeah, this would also work. Let's think of another. I want you to think what other ways can we do with this to make it a bit compressed, make it more elegant. And ideas from the group. I need your ideas here. Actually, Grace mentioned the in, which makes me think if there's an operator in here. Okay, between. I don't think there's a between. Yeah, there's no between in here. Um, in. Oh, there is. Okay, so we can use in. And the one who can help me transform this into like an in statement, how should we do that? So if zip underscore code in, so let's do it the way we did it in SQL, right? So the way we did it in SQL is we had this parentheses, right? After the in, so 1001, this is the first option, 1002, 1003, and then execute what? This statement right here. Okay, so it worked. Awesome. Okay, but what is in here? Does it act as a function or does it act as an operator? What do you think? Guys, are you still there? You're suspiciously quiet. So, does it act as an operator or does it act as a function? Okay, let me provide the answer. It acts as an operator. So basically, what we have in here, what data structure is this? Is it possible that we like assign my tuple in here and copy this thing, the bottom? Okay, so basically this is a collection of value, right? So if I change this to my tuple, we should see the same exact thing, right? Okay, I messed up with the I messed up with the how do you call that spelling. So this is a collection of value, and this acts as an operator. So is it possible that we make it as like a different data structure, like a list? Yes. So we can do it as a list. My favorite data structure. It would still work. So basically, what we're saying here is, if zip code, okay, is any of this value in your container, if it's equal to any value of your container, remember zip code is equal to 1001. We initialize it this way, right? We initialize it as 1001. So if it finds 1001 in your container, then it would print this. If we remove this, try making it 1002, then you won't see any result. Do you follow? And most of the time, this will be like the structure of a conditional statement because it's very simple to think that in actuality, you will be just asking yourself if if a value is equal to like as this simple. No, usually you'll be looking for say whether a particular value exists in your data set, right? So for example, you have an NA in here, and you want to know if how many are there, how many missing values are there. You can create a conditional statement to count the number of missing values or to count uh, the number of any particular value. Do you follow, guys? Okay, now that I remember it, I should have been discussing sets. Okay. No. Let me finish this first. Let me finish conditional statements and I'll be going back to sets. Okay. I forgot that. And anyway, questions, guys. Questions. Questions? Just a thumbs up if this is clear. Okay, I see Grace. How about the others? Jeff, Hasiba. Okay, okay. So let's go back to our slides. So we have successfully um, modified the conditions so that yeah, there's a like a multiple ors. Okay, multiple um, values to be considered. So let's make things a bit complicated. Okay. Um, a cool feature of conditional statements is that we can nest them. And in programming, every time you see the nest, it's not good. Okay. Um, when you see nest, it means that things could get really complicated. So when you see nest, you can interpret it as wrapped up or wrapped in. Okay, so it will be a code inside the code inside the code. Okay, so that's what nest is. So this means that there can be an if statement inside another if statement. Awesome, right? It offers us flexibility. So note each nested if statement requires one more tab. And the good thing about it is Colab Colab automatically assigns that one indentation. That one tab. Okay, that indentation after every if statement, after the colon. Okay, of the if statement. So here, let me go through each of the lines. So we are initializing num. This is a variable. We are equating it or assigning it a value of 63. The first statement says that if num is greater than or equal to 0 and num is less than or equal to 100, then, okay, if num is greater than or equal to 50 and num is less than or equal to 75, and if num is greater than or equal to 60 and num is less than or equal to 70, print this. So basically, you need to satisfy all of this if statements in order to get into the print. If one of this is not, then um, it would it would just skip the other if statement and then proceed to the print statement. So let's see. John, can you do a screenshot of this and before I proceed to um, my collab so that they would have their own copy. Okay. And also for me because I don't see the screen once I switch. Let's see. I'll just um I'll just copy this one. So num is equal to 63, and if num is greater than or equal to 0 or equal to 100, if num is less than or greater than equal to 50 and num less than or equal to 7, then print. Let's just make it like 2 lines for simplicity. Um, I just want to stress out something in here. Um, okay, I'm just manipulating it. Okay. So since both of the conditions, like it satisfied all of this, right? But let's say we change this 50. Let's make it 55. Okay. Notice that it did not print anything. Since the second if condition, right, is false, particularly this one. Do you follow? So later we'll extend the idea of the if condition so that we can accommodate, okay, what will we do if just one if statement is true? Okay. So we'll be utilizing like an elif or else statement for that. But was it even clear, guys, why we don't see any output here? Because we have this if statement as false, right? So this is actually false. Okay.
Can you actually get it to print something like in Excel? It can print like a two or a one if it's false or something. Or it'll just go without printing anything only. Or can you make it
Yeah,
one of the conditional statements to print false if
yeah,
not
we
true?
can do that. But we have to use else. The else
We have
statement
to use
instead.
what?
Else. So basically, the else statement is what do we do if all of the conditions
If
has not
all
been met?
else. Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
So we have that. So basically, it's similar to Excel. Like in Excel, we did right. If say cell is equal to number, say yes, right? Then otherwise, no. This is what you have in mind, right, Grace? This no right here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll have that, Grace. Don't worry. So yep. So let's proceed to the slide. So let's have a practice first before we jump into it. Okay, and I want you to try this. I'll be giving you 5 minutes, and then let's just develop that muscle memory. And then after that, I'll be calling someone to discuss their work. So I want you to create a variable called num, set it equal to 10, create a nested statement which prints greater than 5 if num is bigger than 5, and also prints between 10 and 15 if number is between 10 and 15. Okay? So your time starts now. 5 minutes for this one. Okay, last 2 minutes. John, during the lab, maybe tomorrow, can you give them maybe at least two examples in using conditional statements with different operators? I think the key with the conditional statement is to be knowledgeable about the different operators. You can use the documents that you have, or you can look for well, maybe in the W3 schools, or the resources that we have. Yeah, the more operators they know, the better. It's easier to translate the ideas, the words into statements. Okay, any brave soul out there who wants to share their work? Um, okay, let's do it alphabetically. E, F, G. Grace.
Um, okay, I can't get the nested statement
Okay, which part?
for 10 to
Grace?
15
Hmm,
part.
okay. Yeah, because there's a word between in there, and we don't have the between keyword in.
Yeah.
But we can define it in Python. We can define actually we can define a function in between that does that particular thing. Um, do you want me to show it? Or maybe yeah. Let's see what you have, Grace.
Okay.
I stop sharing. It's actually possible to create your own function in Python. Okay, that would mimic like what what's the between is doing in SQL. Uh huh.
I think I'm supposed to do a next line indented for the nested
Yeah,
and then
it is
print. Is it supposed to print two things like true and or is just gonna say between 10 and 15 is the only intention.
yeah, there should be two prints in there, actually. Um, one is when if the number is actually greater than 5, and the other thing is if it's between 10 and 15, and we know that both of that condition is true, so both of those statements should be printed. So do it this way, Grace. Step number one, you initialize. So that's what you have in num equal to 10. So that's the first part, right?
Yeah.
Now, you don't need to have any indentation with the second line. And it should
Oh,
have a lowercase I, because currently the system is thinking that that is a
oh,
variable. Yeah,
if. Okay.
yeah. And then num is greater than 5. So that is the phrase if number is greater than 5. So that should be one condition, right?
Hmm.
So you end it, you end the second line after specifying 5, right?
Like this or not yet?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
that's correct. You have to remove num is, because what follows with the colon is the statement to be printed, the block of code to be printed if num is greater than 5, right? So you have to have that in your third line, the line following that line with the colon. So you remove that num is, Grace, you
Uh,
delete that, and you delete that line num is. Yep, yep. Backspace more until the print. Okay, perfect. So if num is greater than 5, do print it should not be between 10 and 15 yet. It should be greater than 5, right? Print
What?
greater than 5. Yeah, go back to the chat box and look into the, yeah, into the snippet. Uh,
I don't
John,
see it in the
did you
chat.
put it? No, no, no. John, can you? No, no, no. Let me do it. Please wait for it, Grace. Sorry, I forgot that I. Let me. Okay.
Oh, there's another. I missed the other statement. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. I forgot to have John posted in
So
the chat
this is
box.
greater than
Yep.
greater
Greater than
than 5.
5.
And then just do it
And
as a next statement.
yes. Notice that once you hit enter, the next if statement is um
Indented.
indented relative to the first if statement.
Is it is if none is
If num is between 10 and 15. So how do you do that? How do you say that something is between 10 and 15?
say like this. Greater. No. Greater
Yeah,
than
yeah, it's
greater
perfectly
than
fine.
10
10 and 15.
and
15.
and less than 15.
Okay. So what I want you to look at this line, Grace, is first, um, do we have an operator of is?
Oh, this is what I want.
Yeah. You have to
An
fix the,
operator?
yeah, because notice in your second line you don't have any is in there. You just immediately apply the logical operator greater than. So you don't actually need the is in there, the is operator.
Oh,
Yeah. So if num and what is less than 15?
oh, and num
Yeah, num
is
again.
less than 15.
Yep. So this looks good. What would you do if this is true?
Okay. Then we got to print.
Print between 10 and 15. Num is between 10 and 15. Yeah, 15. Okay, I want you to run this. Let's see. Okay, it gives you the idea that you're lacking a colon. This is actually nice, right? I find it really helpful, the error. It's expected and dented
Expected.
plus. Okay. So what do you do? No, 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 no. I want you to look at the error carefully. Go. Put back the indentation, original indentation earlier in the if statement. Yep. Look at the error. It tells you that something's wrong in the print statement. So the one that you need to indent is actually, look at line 2 and 3. The print is indented by one tab as compared with the F. There we go. Perfect. Yep. There we go. There we go. So between 10 and 15. I want you to explore more into this. What if the between includes 10 and 15? So the between is actually inclusive. How would you how would you modify this that it would include 10 and 15? Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Oh, geez. I'm putting a shift button. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured out that you're clicking shift. Oh, there we go. So it's now printing both. So in our example earlier, it's only printing one statement, but since you have this series of blocks of codes after the if statement, so whenever that if statement is true, it would print the next block. Okay? Questions, guys? Questions? Questions? Jeff, Hasiba, any questions regarding this? No questions? Everything was clear? Okay, more practice, please. Yes, we have tons of practice, Hasiba. Hmm, let me think. Yeah, thank you very much, Grace. Let me share my screen.
Thank
Let me
you.
create. Yeah, thank you very much and great work. Let me create another example for you. Okay, number two. Do you see my screen? Okay. Oh, let me think. So, example. So what we want to do is, since we're just doing printing now, we were not doing anything aside from printing in our conditional statement, right? So let's think of an example. Um, so let's initialize. Let's make things interesting. So let's initialize x to be 0. Okay, so that's the starting value. If let's have another value y in here, equal to 5. If x is less than y, what we do is we add 1, right? Let me think. Print. Let's see. Yeah, was not closed. It is. It is closed. If x is less than y, print um no. I was thinking about recursive computation. So let's see this. Print x1. Oh, okay. So here um I'm tempted to use the while here, but I don't want to jump into different topics. I'm thinking carefully on creating this example. So basically, what I want to show to you is that you can do computations here. The print function is not even necessary here. So you can do algebraic expression once you satisfy the if condition, and we can do another if in here that if x is still less than y, um, but we will do this in a more elegant way. I'm attacking it in a brute way. What I want to do is to add value to x every time that it satisfies that x is less than y. Do you see it? This is a brute force, but there's a shortcut for this. We can do this iteratively using another syntax. But yeah, let me do it. Let me do it in a in a primitive way. I should call it. Um, okay, so let's see. Print x. Huh. It's not stacking the information. Let me think. If x is less than y, x plus 1. So this would be 2, 5. Huh. Let me think. It's not stacking the value. Let me think if it's possible to do this without using the while function or the while operator. X plus 1, x plus y. So this is true. X would be added by 1. Hmm, I wonder if I can initialize it this way. No. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to stack the sum. So this is 1, this should be 2, this should be 5. Um, through nested if statements. Let me think. If x is less than y, x plus 1. Hmm. Why is it not stacking the value? Let me see. Index. Okay. So I have to put the print x. It's not doing what I want. Hmm. Let me think. If x is less than y, add x plus 1. So 0 plus 1. If x is still less than y, that 1 must now, which is now the current value of x, must be added 1. Hmm. Let me think. 2 more minutes if I can't find any solution. But there's another way to do this using the while. So basically, the idea is while the value is less than y, while the value of x is less than y, you do iteratively this computation. But I wanted to do in a brute way, that is, through the nested if statement. There should be a way to do that. What am I missing? If x is less than y, x plus 1. Uh-huh. Let's see. Plus equals. Uh, just thinking plus equals here. Let me see. Yeah, let me try that, John. If x is less than y, x plus minus 1, print x. Let me see. Let me see this first. Ah, there we go. I think this works. Let me try also the idea that you have. Um, but I think this would work. Um, but basically, this is what I had earlier, but for some reason I received an error. Basically, this operator is like summing up all of the values together. Hmm. For some reason, I encountered an error earlier. Doesn't work. Print X. So it's only printing this part. Yeah. Let's try that statement. So it would be X equal to X plus 1. Uh, Let me think. So basically here, if X is less than Y, X is equal to X plus 1. Print X. If X, but it will just restart after this, is what I'm thinking. Let's see. But let's try. And let's have the print X at the bottom here. I have a feeling that uh yeah, it's 4. Let's see if it's stacking already. So this one, so this is 0 plus 1. So this is 1. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. Ah, okay. 3 plus 4. So we have to add, say, 2 in here. 2, 4, maybe 3. So that we're expecting that it would still be 5, right? Because it will not do anything if the value of x, if the updated value of x exceeds 5. It will only proceed to doing the computation when the value of x is less than 5. So let's see. I did not proceed to that line. So did not proceed to this line because this is already false, right? So we should have print x in here. There we go. So the reason why it did not proceed to line 13 and so on, line 13 to 15, is that this is already false, right? This is already false. So at this point, this will be skipped. Okay. Mm, Let me think. Uh, this has a shortcut. Can you remember, John? This has a shortcut. Um, Let me just
The thing that you did earlier, sir, x plus equals 1.
Yeah, but wonder why it's not working. I
A
used to
while ago,
use,
you used x plus equals 3. That's why it did not give us anything. I think it works, sir.
it worked, really? Um, yeah, let's do it. So basically here, guys, let me run through again before I proceed to shortening this. Um, we initialized values, right? We initialized here, values here. In fact, you can use as many variables as you need. Okay, you can do x, y, z, a, b, c, whatever. How many possible values in here? So we started with this first conditional statement that if x is less than y, the value of x would be x plus 1. So this is now 0 plus 1. And here, um, the value of x now is 1 less than 5, right? So this is equal to true. But let's dissect what's happening in here, right? So this is now um, 1 plus 1. So at this point, we have x value equal to 2. Now this is 2 less than 5, which is equal to true, right? So this is now 2 plus 3. So at this point, we will be printing x, and that's what we have in here. This is what we have. 5 is what we have in the output. At this point, it's already false. So anything after that would be skipped. Do you follow? Is it clear now, guys? Can I get a thumbs up? You will see that there's a much better way to do this, like in a shorter way, using iterative operations. But at least we know how to do it in a brute primitive way. Okay, Grace, Hasiba, Jeff, can I get a thumbs up, or maybe if you have any questions?
I think this one will need like a
Need more time to process.
yeah, or like a similar algebraic conditional, but then like we can just duplicate the thinking, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Just do
So
it
let's
again.
have another example after this. Yeah. So Jeff says, can you explain again why that last step will be skipped? Yeah, this will be skipped because our condition is set to be if x is less than y. But at this point, we have already updated x. It's already 5. So this condition is now false. 5 is not less than y at this point. That's why it will be skipped. Okay, Jeff, was that clear? So we're updating in every condition. What we're doing here, um, we update. We want to update x in every conditional statement until x or while x is less than 1. So let me see because the condition has been met. Yes. Well, the condition has not been met. That's why it stopped. The condition that x must be less than y has not been met at this point because they're already equal. That's why we skip. Now, if we will change this, this can also be changed. If x is equal to y, then we'll be adding another number. So we notice that aside from 5, it would print 6, right? it would print 6 because we'll be proceeding to this and print that value. So you will see 5 and 6 as an output, right? Because it's true that x is equal to y. So yeah, that's what I meant. Basically, it made x surpass. Not really. Equal is the correct word. It made x be equal to y at this point, at this line, and we can further. We can we can we can be crazy, and if x is greater than y, you do x, say, to the 19th power, whatsoever. So then print it. Now we are expecting a very large value here because we know that x already surpassed. So at this point, we know that x is greater than y because the current value of x is 6. Sorry, 6. So it will do this. And we know that this would result to a very large value. Uh, Not really. It should be x equal plus equal to whatever value this is. There we go. It's the humongous number. Okay. So we updated it. We became crazy at this point that, yeah, if x is greater than y, you do this update. That is whatever value of x you have now, which is 6, you add it to this one. Okay, so this x plus with equal symbol is basically x plus equal 1 is just the same as x equal to x plus 1. They're just the same. I'm used to just using this because this is more elegant instead of writing, especially if, like, um you are doing complex calculation, and this can also be applied to, say, x uh, multiplied. So we will be talking about this. Don't worry. I think it would be session number 9, in which you will learn how to do iterative computations, which is basically shortening this up, shortening this down. We will shorten this down so that we can accomplish it in just 2 lines. So Python would iteratively do the computation while the condition is being satisfied until you have a false, and then it would stop. Okay? All good, guys? All good? All clear? So let's think another, maybe, let me think. Uh, yeah, maybe we should proceed to the else statement, and uh, because it would provide us more option in writing our conditional statements. Okay. So what if we want to execute a different set of operators in case an if condition turns out to be false? This is good, right? This is exactly what Grace has been asking earlier. Is it possible to have that false assign a value, assign an output to it? This is the answer to that. We can use the if else statement. So if the statement is true, you do the block of code, else you do another block of code. So basically, the structure is if condition, execute the next line of code if it's true. Otherwise, if it's false, do this. Okay, guys? Any question regarding the structure? Okay, so let's have this example. Let's start with a very basic one. We initialize the value of num to be 60. If num is less than or equal to 50, print this. Else, print the number is greater than 50. Is it true that number is less than or equal to 50? This is false. So previously, when we don't know yet the else statement, you don't see any output with this, right? So let me show that to you. Let me show that to you. Okay. By putting it in the chat box. Um, let's go there. So let's initialize 60. Initialization. Then if num is less than or equal to 50, print yes. Let's make it simple, right? So since we know that it is false, we're not expecting anything to be shown. Do you follow? Now we'll be adding an else statement, right? So else, if it's basically saying that if it's false, do this. So we'll be adding it here. Else, okay. Else, what do we have here? Print number is good. Just say print no, right? Print no. Simple as oops. Simple as that. Okay, print no. Okay. Should be the same indentation as with the else. So the indentation of this must match, okay? Then this indentation of the else. So now we should expect that the no would be printed, right? So going back here to our very lengthy computation, when we say that if um, x is less than y, we want to have like a different output or another thing to be done to our x value, we will be using else, right? So this else must pair this original else if right here, and then what do we do if x is less than y? Do um, let's divide it. Uh, let's divide x by 10, something like that. Okay. Let me see. Oh, okay. Should be the colon should be right there. And why is it giving me that? Um, improper indentation, I suppose. Wait. No, 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 no. This is just improper indentation. There we go. Perfect. So basically what we're doing right here is once we know that um, this condition is already false, okay, we will be doing this. Or basically we don't need this at this part. If x is to y. Now that I think about it, it's not a good thing that I do it here because it would provide so much confusion. So let's stick with a simpler one. Maybe here, okay? So this is false, so you proceed to the else. If it's true, if for example, we change it to norm greater than 50, this else statement would be skipped, right? This would be printed, yes, and this would be skipped. There you go. Do you follow? So this part will be skipped if the last statement is true. Okay. So we can be creative in combining the if else statement. So at least now we can assign a block of code when the condition is false, which is a good thing. It widens our capability, right? Okay, so let's have another example for this one. Yeah, true or false? The following piece of code can be written with two if statements instead. What do you think? Can you write it with only two if statements? What do you think, guys?
Could you just
We're not
take
using. We
out,
will not be using else.
yeah, without using else, you could just write, like, write the second half,
Mhm.
and it will essentially be like a null hypothesis, right? As an if statement. If num is less than or equal to 50, print the statement.
Yeah, it would be the inverse of the first one, right?
Right. But then
Exactly.
does that meet the conditions of writing two if statements?
Yes, that's
It's just
correct.
like the other side of the coin, but you're
Yeah,
not putting
yeah.
any new parameters, right?
In fact, we did it. We did it numerous times before,
Yeah.
right here. But in this part, we only assign like a print statement at the end. But it's just like what you have seen in here. We can actually do it. We can do a condition, or not a condition, but execute a block of code in the middle, right? In fact, it's not only limited to one line. You can even update y in here. It's perfectly fine to update the other variables in the middle of the if statements. So yes, it's completely possible, right? We have to specify the condition. Now let's try that. It's not good that we said yes, but we did not show it. Let's see. Print screen. Oh, it's not working. So let's try implementing that. Let's see if it would work, right? Let's prove. Okay. Um, where were we? Okay. So let's prove that we can write an if else statement. We can write an if else statement with nested ifs. But it would, of course, the nested if would would be would be more lengthy as compared to the if else. So we initialize again, num equal to 60. I want you to do it together with me. If num, I'm just copying the one that you have in the chat box. So I have this condition, print less than. I'll make it simple, okay? Less for the interest of time. Less than or equal 50. Now I can wrap it up with another um, if statement that tells if it's greater than 50, print what do you call this? Greater than 50. Let's go up with the spelling right here. So here, greater than. I'll just say, yeah, greater than 50. And earlier, greater than 50. So yeah, this should be equal to what? Um, if num greater than should be equal to what we saw in the slide. So let's see if this would work. So what happened? Num 60, num less than equal to 50 prints. If num is greater than 50, Right, greater than 50. Okay. Um, I'm missing something here. If num greater than 50, okay. Um, what am I missing here? Why is it not printing that? Oh, 60. If num is greater than 50, so this should be skipped. Okay. Um, let me see. If num is less than or equal to 50, it's false. It's about the order. It's about the order. It is about the order right here. Let me change the order. Let me put it first in here. Uh, mhm. And oh, okay. Yeah, this one would print it. Second if. Um, yeah, so earlier doesn't show because this is already false, but let me think. If this is false, it should go in here because this is already true. Um, why is it doing that? Okay, let me step back a little bit. Okay, so the order matters here. It should not. Whether we put the first statement that is true on the first or at the second, it should still do the same thing. Um, so basically, I put here, right, the first true statement followed by this false statement. So since this is true, this is false, this would be skipped. But here, this is false, so good. You have another if statement that is now true, so this should be printed. What am I missing here? Let me think. Num equal to 60, num less than or equal to 50. Hmm. Did I miss any part here? If num less than or equal to 50, let me go back to that. Yeah, let me think. I'm missing something here.
Why the second if is not executed,
Yeah,
sir?
the second one is not being executed because um, the first one is false. So it breaks the condition, right? I might be thinking of a different thing because what I have in my mind is as long as you have. Oh, no, 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 no. Now that I think about it, I was thinking about a lift. Sorry about that, guys. So when the order doesn't make any, like, how should I say this? In the if statement, the order matters. Let me clarify that. I think I'll be utilizing my pen. I was thinking about a completely different code, which is the elif. Okay, apologies for that. I confused myself. So let me clarify that. So what's happening in here? Again, what we want to do is to convert this thing, okay, into a nested if statement. So where was it? This one, okay? It's a challenge for us. Now, going back here, okay? So with the if statement, it would only proceed, just like what we had here, it would only proceed to the next line while it is true. So while the condition is being met, it would proceed to the next if condition, okay? The next if statement. Once it encounters a false, it would stop. So here, the reason why it's not printing this this statement between is because this is already false, right? So this is already false. So the others would be skipped. It would do anything. Now, the reason why we have an output on the second one is that I put first the true condition, which is if num is greater than 50. Okay? So this is how you do it. This is how you convert this thing to a nested if statement. Okay? So we need to change. We need to specify that condition, the first that we have in here, to the second one, which is basically it's if you think about it, it doesn't make sense at all because you already know the value of the num. So yep. I was thinking of LF. LF will be discussed in the next few slides. Okay. So was it clear why these two are different, guys? I was confused a bit. I
I'm
was
sorry, can
thinking
you
different.
re-explain that, please?
Okay, yeah. So when you're working with an if statement, specifically if statement, it would only proceed to the nested, to the next if statement as long as it's true. So here, okay, this is already false. The first if statement is already false. So the next if statement would be skipped because the very first if is a false. Okay? So everything under it would be skipped. Do you follow? But in here, in the second example, this is already true. So if this is true, oh, what did I do? So this is true, right? That num is greater than 50. It printed here, but now this is false. So it skipped this part. Okay? So that's the difference between this two right here. Now, let's look at the example that we did earlier. So look at this. This is true, right? X is less than y. We added 1, but still 1 is less than y because y is 5. So this is still true. True until we hit here. earlier it is x less than y, right? If this is x less than y, this would now be false. So if we do x less than y here, this is now false, so everything after that would be skipped. Okay? Assuming that we don't have any else yet in here. I was thinking earlier, just to clarify myself, I was thinking of a completely different code called elif. Okay? So, yeah. But with the if statement, it must be true to proceed to the next if statement. Okay? I wonder if that's clear or I injected so much confusion to you guys. So, any questions before we
No,
proceed?
that was good. That makes sense. It is there were some parts is just hard to follow, like, watching you like figure it out, but that makes sense. Thank you.
Yep. Let me provide another example here to clarify that thing. So I'll be initializing a value of 5, okay? And I'll be creating a conditional statement that if x is less than 5 or less than, say, 8, okay, you print x is less than 8. Then another statement, if x is less than 8 or 7, um, forgot the quotation marks here, uh, print x is less than 7. And another statement here, if x, so notice all of this are actually true. So we're expecting this to be printed, right? If x is, I'll give you a counter example after this. X is less than 6, print x less than 6. Then if x less than 5, print x is less than 5. So without even running it, we know that this one is true, this one is true, this one is true, this one is false. So this will be skipped, right? Do you follow? So when we run this, you would see 876. Now, let me provide you a counter example. If, say, we make this x less than 4, all of this part would now be skipped. Only this would be printed. Do you follow? If you run it, you would see only this. Now, another counter example. If, say, we put the false condition at the very first, let's put it back here. If we put the very first false at the first if statement, everything would be skipped. Because it's nested inside the first if statement. So once this first condition is false, everything would be skipped. You don't have any output. So that's basically what I was um, trying to clarify. That's what happened here. Okay, I earlier I put the false condition in the very first. That's why I did not receive any error. Did it clarify the thing, guys? I don't want to confuse you, so I need to go length in explaining this. I think I confused you earlier. Can I get a thumbs up if this is already clear? Questions. Okay. Yeah. Let me go back to this. This is just a practice. John, please do it together with the student later. So this is the thing that I was thinking earlier. The elif. Okay. If the condition fails, try this one. So I was exactly thinking about this. Okay. Earlier. Apologies for that. So in programming, isn't always true or false scenario, and the problem can have multiple outcomes. So this is when we need an if else if statement. It allows us to create multiple conditions easily. Okay, and it makes our codes really elegant, short, in a way. So the elif stands for else if. So the else if um, makes you avoid doing nested if statements. Okay, so this indicates that if the previous condition fails, if it's a false, try this one. So it would not skip everything. Okay, so basically here, um, if I used elif here, right, it won't skip the next part. It would try the other one. Okay, that's what we meant with the elif right here. So let's see an example. Let's look at the structure. We can only go down one branch of a conditional statement. This is true for all conditionals. Okay, so the structure of the if else elif else is this: if condition, execute this code. Elif, if that's false, condition number two, execute this code instead. Else, if all fails, I mean all of the ifs and elifs are false, do this. If nothing is true, do the last one. Do you follow? So the last one, the else, is when all of this, all of the ifs, all of the elifs are false, then do the last one. Okay? So let's have an example right here. Let's initialize light. So this is a variable, a string variable equal to red. So if light is equal to green, print go. We know that this is false, right? Do you follow? This is false. It's clearly a false, right? Else if light is equal to yellow, print caution. If light is equal to red, stop. So we know guys that this is true. So my question to you is, would it still proceed to the else? Would it still run this or will it be skipped? What's your answer? Well, of course you know the answer. You're seeing the output. So it would stop right here because it already identified a correct elif, a correct statement. So this else would not be run. It will be skipped. So the only time that this else would be run if it's either a red, it's neither a red, a green, or a yellow, like maybe black. It's an incorrect light signal. Do you follow, guys? Do you follow? So going back here, okay, if okay, Jeff, you screw up earlier. What if you convert that into LF instead? Would it now print the thing, right? Would it print the greater than? Yes, it would now print that. Because if this is false, you have an else if statement, right? So if this is also false, say num is say less than 55. So this is also false, right? I can have an else right here that what it would do is print greater than, or yeah, greater than 50, right? So if all things fail, all of this if and elifs fail, you have the else in there. So you'll still get an output. Okay, so this, we are sure that this would be printed greater than 50. Okay, I hope I avenged myself earlier about the potential confusion that I I did. Okay. So that's all we have for today's session. Um, I wish I could combine the if LF together with um, the other things. But basically, the multiple LF is something that we already did. With this one, this is a multiple LF. So you can put as many conditions as you need. Okay. So it depends. Well, this is context specific, guys. It depends on the problem. It depends on the thing that you want to accomplish. So yeah, these are just supplementary practices. So yeah, I hope the session was clear. Apologies for some parts that I confused myself with, but hopefully with the practice that you'll have with John, everything would be would be good. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Again, I enjoyed the session very much. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Grace, Hasiba, and Jeff. Thank you. So we will not have any breaks since I plan to dismiss you earlier, if that's okay with you, because I have some errands to attend to on the university. But I will show you some of the things that might help you to further understand some of the concepts in the conditional statements. But don't worry, we will still have a lot of practices tomorrow. I prepared some things that I think might help us to further establish our understanding of the conditional statements. And what I plan for tomorrow's session is I will explain it in the way I understand how conditional statement works. So how I see conditional statements. And I think made it makes it easier to understand when I explain it how I understand how things work based on the feedback of the previous students. I'm not sure if that is also applicable with you, but we will do that tomorrow. But for today, let me show you some of the practices that I will leave because I plan to dismiss you earlier for today's session. So apologies for the short notice. So first, um, I I just noticed it yesterday that we still need a lot of practices about the slicing. The reason why I am very eager to establish the understanding in the slicing and how we access elements in strings, lists, tuples, also dictionaries, is that is also the same logic that we will apply when we go to the tables, to the data frames. Like for example, imagine that you have a data frame. A data frame is in Python, it is just another term for tables. So tables, as we know, it consists of rows and columns, and some of the big data that we have. Sometimes we have 20 plus columns based on the data that we handled on the mode.com, and most of them contains thousands of rows. So the way we access rows and columns in data frames is almost the same way, the same logic. We access things on the strings, tuples, and lists. So the same logic as slicing. That's why I am giving you these additional practices in case that you think you still need to further establish the things that you want to understand on at the slicing as well as the tuples, because we did not cover a lot of things about the tuples. So I created some of examples here about the tuples and also nested tuples, so that you will be familiarized on the things that you can do and you cannot do on the tuples. Because lists, it is much easier to deal with lists. There are a lot of methods that are working on lists. So there is another section for that. So this file that I will be sharing at the Discord, the first part is about slicing exercises. So first, you will be reviewed how to slice or how to access elements from a string. And you will extend that idea on the lists. And you will further extend that idea on the nested lists. And the same way for the tuples and the nested tuples. So that is all about accessing elements from these iterable objects and what else? Slicing as well, like accessing multiple elements from that objects. And I dedicated a part here where you can apply almost all of the list methods that we have covered. Also the methods that are for the lists stipulated on the website of W3 schools if you are familiar of that. The one that I showed you one a couple of meetings ago. So here you would need to use the append, the remove, the inserts, the sort, the extend, and in case that you will perform this, okay, offline, I provided here some. If you will scroll at the last two pages, I included here a very subtle shaded letters that which are actually the answers for this. Okay. So I suggest you perform this first, and after you perform it, compare your answer, or like let's say you did your best and still your code is not working. Okay. You can take a peek on this. I designed it in the way that you would look at it very easy. So all of the items that are in this, all of the answers on that are already in this document. But I suggest refrain for looking at this while you are working on it because the goal is to familiarize and to understand how the codes are working. And then about the conditional statements, I am still developing it, but do you want me to send it today? So for those people who are already comfortable and confident on their skills about the slicing and then accessing elements, also the application of the list methods, you can proceed on the conditional statements, which is this. Conditional statements I included here. This will be discussed tomorrow further. Okay, I will explain it and I will give examples of this. Okay, the comparison operators that we are commonly using on conditional statements, the logical operators, and the more membership operators. And on the discussion a while ago, in the introduction of the conditional statements, we somehow viewed it's like the bird's eye view or the overview of the idea of conditional statement. But diving in deeper to that, we will encounter this in the future. This is also the thing that our instructor is telling me to do for tomorrow's session, like expose you to the logical operators or different operators and conditional statements. We also have, after the discussion of the idea of this, I also prepared some of the conditional statements where and we can immediately practice this comparison operators. So all of the things that we will do for tomorrow is all about hands-on. So we will be purely hands-on. But of course, if you still have any questions, I can provide you further explanations on that based on how I understand how conditional statements and also the data structures are working. 13. So we have 13 practices about conditional statements, logical operators, in general. And on the second part of that, additional practices, these are actual problems. Like, for example, we have a given number, and you will write a program that checks if this given number is even or odd number. So on these problems, we will introduce some of the operators. We will use, not introduce, we will use operators that we had on the discussions on the beginning of our Python class, especially the model operator, which is this percentage sign, in which it will give you the remainder if you perform division. Like for example, 7 divided by 6. The answer will be or divided by 2. The answer will be 3 remainder 1, right? 3 remainder 1. So if you will apply modulo operator, remainder, if you will apply modulo operation, it will look like this: 7 percentage 2, and the results will be 1. So to review, modulo operator will return you the remainder when you divide this value to this. I hope you still remember that, but if you don't remember that, we will review it also tomorrow for this number 1. What else? We will also perform some of the comparison operators to answer this number 2. Also for this comparison operators, the less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Also for this, almost all of the conditional statements that we will handle requires comparison operators like equals, less than, greater than. Also the grouping operators or the logical operators, and or. But for the idea of and or, the idea is if you are using and, therefore all of the conditions must be satisfied in order for the code to be executed. Whereas if you are just using or, at least one of the conditions must be satisfied. Tomorrow we will dive in that deeper, but today I will just show you some of the practices that you can perform online or offline. We can also use divisibility problems here. We can solve that. This is solvable just by understanding this. Okay. And also the operations plus, minus, division, subtraction, and the modulo operator. What else? Leap year checking. This one is quite challenging, so it is completely understandable if you will skip this. Let's say Grace tried to answer some of these problems, so it is totally understandable if you will skip some of the questions here. What else? This one is simple, but this one seems a simple problem, but it requires us to generate long code, long code. Not really long, but many lines of code to perform this. This is one of the questions of Sir Jeff during our time that he was teaching in the university. To inform you, he is our instructor in the pre-elective subject, which is Python in our university. And it happens that he is our instructor. And this is one of the questions, I think, on one of the exams. And we answered it using pen and paper. So we don't have the choice to perform trial and error. So that's the reason why my approach is to understand the fundamentals And what else? This one is very simple. You just need to use um, comparison operators less than or greater than. If the person is age if the person's age is equal or greater than 18 years old, since the age must be 18 or older, therefore you will say that that person is eligible to vote. Otherwise, that person is not eligible to vote. So you can start practicing this, but it's okay if not. But I suggest before you practice the conditional statements, continue practicing on the dictionaries. Okay. So we have a lot of practices. Let me save this first. Where is it? I will share it on the Discord. And um, you can start on practicing this. You can, it's okay if you will stay at our meeting. Agent, I will skip out of today's. I need to. Okay. Okay. I didn't print that earlier. So Grace and Hasiba, you can still stay at the meeting if you want to have a collaborative work, if you want to work with in pair. But if you want to perform it offline, it's totally understandable. So apologies again if this is a very short notice. So I need to go to the university for our instructor and research to check our final manuscript. If that will be successful, then our paper is good to be binded and to be submitted at the university library. And then after that, we will our application for graduation will be signed. So it is somehow part of the clearance for us to graduate. So that's why I need to go to the university. So any questions, Grace and Hasiba?
We
Not
just have
now.
lab
Okay.
23 and 24 this week, and then the rest of it, what we just introduced so far, is just practices, right?
Yes,
Do I have
practices.
that? Okay. All right. Or I'm good to stay, Hasiba, if you want to work on some together.
Yes, that's.
Yeah.
I suggest you perform it together so that if maybe Hasiba has some ideas that you will learn at Grace, and Grace has some ideas that can be shared to Hasiba.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so for now I will leave the meeting. So enjoy your collaborative work. I already sent the files on the Discord, and see you tomorrow. I will try to provide a meaningful discussion tomorrow. So thank you.
Bye. See you.
Bye. See you.
Hasiba.
Hi. I'm here.
Okay. Um, what I feel like my priority is finishing lab 24. Did you finish that one?
I did, yeah. I think I
Oh, okay.
submitted. Yeah.
Oh, good. Then we can do some practices here. Which one do you want to start with?
So we had some practice last night, which is incomplete. I think we just did until
Oh, the
number
dictionaries
6.
practice then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, up to number
Yeah.
6.
Number
Okay, yeah,
6.
I still have it up.
Yeah. So it's, I think, 15 question.
He uploaded another one. Let me see if this is different. Price of apple to 0.6. 15 questions. Clear all entries in dictionary. Okay, so the second one he uploaded is the same.
Oh,
So let's
yeah.
go here.
Do you mind if you share your screen?
Yeah. No problem. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. That's not it. That's not it. Let me get my Teams up. Share. Can you see?
Yeah.
All right. Have you reached out to Jane?
No. Who is Jane?
This right here in the message. She's
Oh,
with
no,
resume
no. No, not
consultation,
yet. No.
profile.
No, I would definitely reach out because I think there is something wrong with my resume. I
Mm.
applied like nonstop, but I just shortlisted for some of them. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so what do I need to get up? I don't know what's happening here. This one? And if I do split screen, can you see the split screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen as store prices. Yeah. So I think we are on number 5. We did number 5. Number 6, which says, do you have question? Yeah. I just add the question as well in the on that page. So yeah, I can read. And I have number 7. I did, but I'm stuck on number 8.
So number 8, I would do this, but I don't know how much do I have here. Apple, add 6, add a new entry. So let me catch up to you. Let me add oranges to my store.
Mm-hmm.
A bracket, quote, orange.
Equals 0.8.
Okay. Oh, no. Close bracket. Okay. Add a new entry. Remove the entry for banana.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So did you do store
I think
prices dot?
you need to do delete DEL, then a
Oh,
store.
delete?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it
yeah,
number
no.
7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Delete, and we're gonna take out banana.
Banana. Oh, so as I follow John, delete should be at the beginning.
Of store prices?
Yeah,
Oh,
without any dot.
no dot.
Yeah, a space. Yeah.
Okay, it has green check mark.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to, let me just display store prices. I only have apples and oranges. Well, that makes sense. What about my banana? I deleted banana. Okay, so now it says 8. Check if orange is in the store prices dictionary. So I just displayed it and I have orange there, but the way to search for it would be to go store prices. No, not that one. Straight. And to just search for orange. Oh, but if I do that, it will just give me the value of orange. Is that what happens?
I think so.
But I did it both ways, so you could do that too, which is you could say, give me the value
Store
for
prices.
oranges, or you can just just do this part,
Yeah.
and then that will display the
prices.
whole dictionary. And so that I think both ways can confirm that oranges is in the dictionary.
So without the number, like 0.8, just the oranges.
This way, well, this way it displays the number, right?
Yeah.
But by displaying the number, it's saying that yes, I found orange in the dictionary and it has a value of 0.8.
Okay. I will follow you.
Yeah, so I think that's answering it. And then print the keys. Because what happens when it's not, what message does it give you if it's not in the dictionary? Let's try.
Just give an error.
Yeah, key error.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it gives you a value, then it's confirming that it found a match in the dictionary. Okay. Let me save that answer that it's DEL space store prices. Print the keys in the store prices dictionaries as a list. Yo.
I have no idea.
Okay, so I'm just gonna search I'm just gonna Google this.
Yeah.
Unless he did it in the slideshow, but I feel like that's more work to search it in the slideshow presentation. So I'll search how to display keys in Python dictionary. Stack Overflow, he was saying that other website, something 3, W3 schools. Let me try that. So you just put dot keys. Let's try it. So let's try store
Okay.
prices dot keys, open and close parentheses.
Is it giving an error?
I think it's still giving me an error from grape. So let me repeat the grape thing. Yeah. Did you get this?
No, I think oh, just give me an error for the store prices orange that for number 8. Let me check the number 8, how you did that.
What does the message say? What does the error message say about orange? Key error?
Mm, it says check if orange is in the store prices dictionary. Key
No,
error,
I'm saying
yeah,
you're getting
key error.
an error message or no?
Yeah, key error message. Maybe I just skip this part.
Yeah, I was like, maybe you could just delete
Yeah,
that line if you want to continue. Or
yeah, yeah, this one worked for me as well. But
yeah, this one
you,
right here was adding oranges. Then I was supposed to check if orange was in the dictionary. So I don't have that line anymore. So I'm sure what happening is like your line, your attempt at searching for oranges in the dictionary, number 8, just either fix it or delete it. Because it's
so
getting stuck there, right?
I didn't get anything like you there is a written DICT keys, but I don't have that one.
Oh,
After,
did you put store underscore prices dot keys?
yeah. Yeah.
You want to switch screens? I don't mind.
Can you please repeat?
Oh, yeah, I have to stop, huh? Okay, go ahead.
Let me share my screen. Can you see it?
It's loading.
This one? Number 9.
Yeah,
But I don't get anything here after running. But it runs, but it doesn't show.
that's what's. I see. So in line 54, store prices is
Mm,
that's you're telling it to run 54, 54.
5, 4. Oh, this one.
Yeah, it's running that one after you say, hey, show me just the keys. So you have to delete that and try and hit play, and it should run the most recent one that you did,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is
Oh,
there it
okay.
is.
Yeah.
So you have
Thank you.
cherry in your thing, but whatever, somewhere in there. I didn't do maybe every example.
Okay.
Where are you supposed to add cherry? Oh, okay, just practice.
I just stopped sharing. Is Can you please back sharing?
Yeah.
Share your screen.
Okay, so we did 9.
Yeah. No, back
So
now.
we displayed the keys where it was just showing the fruit without showing the value.
Yeah. Please share your screen.
Oh, it's not? No, it's not.
No.
It's not red. Okay, so share. Share. Now?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
Way. Okay.
Print the value in
So,
the store prices dictionary as a list.
so it's maybe the same thing. So let me record this answer, which is just to do store prices dot keys, print the values. So I wonder if we could just change keys to values, and it will do the same thing, and it will display 0.6 and 0.8.
Um.
Yeah.
Okay. Dot values.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it creates the list.
Yeah, it creates it in a list, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just highlighting just my answers. And then it says store.
How about instead of value if we use list? What do you think?
Say it again.
Instead of values, if we use dot list, is it gonna be working?
Um, you can try it, but you're not asking for anything specific if you do dot list, because dot list is a
As
way
a list. Okay.
of storing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you say store dot prices dot values or dot keys, you're asking for that.
Oh yeah, it gives me an error. I tried.
All right, number 10, print the values and the store prices dictionary as a list. Oh, so you store prices dot values. Print the key value pairs in the store prices dictionary as a list of tuples. So what I'm thinking is you just do store prices we're either gonna do dot tuples or type. It's like a typecasting. I don't know. Let's play with it. Store prices dot. You can't. I don't think this is gonna work, but let's see. See, look how it turned it a different color. I think this is the definition of function. I don't. Oh, so dot tuple. What is tuple? Just parentheses. So there's no attribute. It doesn't have an attribute. So what if it was store price? Store prices inside it. No, I feel like it's gonna be a dot. So I'm gonna ask Google.
Oh, I
Mm.
just okay, I found it.
Did you do it?
It's not working, huh? The dot tuple is not working.
So I'm gonna search how to display dictionary. How to display Python dictionary as a tuple, number 10. Wait, 11? Yeah,
10.
print the pairs
Oh
as
yeah,
tuple.
11. Yeah, 11.
As tuple. Oh, now it's black. Okay, I don't know. Define the original tuple and what is happening. Create a list by converting to a list using the list function. Oh, use the extend method to add the dictionary to. What the what did you just say to me?
I think it's like many steps.
It's not helping. Okay, if I have a dictionary like so and so, which I do, how can I convert it to this, which is a list? And how can I convert it to this, which is a shit, I don't know. Given X is already a tuple in your code, already confused. Tuple reversed. So if it's list, I think D items is the dictionary name. Are you able to search through the lecture?
No.
We create a list of tuples. D is equal to John is 5, Alex is 10, Richard is 7. You can list the items as tuples, sorted if you like, and get the name and score of. Okay, but why aren't you? Oh, how to do? I was like, why aren't you showing me how to do this? It's right here. So player, wait. This is the dictionary.
then you can say player dot name and player dot score, and it'll come out with one player. Player with the best. So
I think this
this
part that
one-
your cursor is, I think this one is the, we can try this.
this is like player would be the key, right? Because if this is the example, John, Alex, and Richard are the players. So it's saying player equals the name of the dictionary, which is collections, dot. This stuff I'm confused. I'm just gonna go to Canvas for this. It was in the, I think it was Python class 3, right?
I think so. If it's a dictionary, I think Python 4, class 4.
Oh, okay. So we'll
Yeah,
go here.
today I searched about that.
Python class 1. Gosh, this needs to be cleaned up. It is not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
No, we have not done this.
Maybe Python class 3, I don't know. Tuples.
So where's dictionaries? I'm sorry, is there a number between 3 and 4 that I don't know about? Creating a tuple. Maybe there's something here.
We did this part, and I think they forgot to upload the dictionary part in here.
Gosh darn them.
Today I searched a lot, I couldn't find it. Even if you go to Python class 4, you wouldn't see anything about. Oh, I did see something about dictionary.
There's converting data types in class 2. Maybe there's something there. But I don't know if it's going to be dictionary to tuples, but let's see. The type function, testing purposes. But this just allows us to, when you do type, right, it just shows you like, oh, it's a string, it's an integer.
Class 2.
Oh. Okay, John, where are you? Really use your help right now. Items returns a list of key and value tuples. What if we did items? Since tuples are immutables, they can't be reversed. Thus, you have to iterate the items and create new tuples to get the reverse.
I believe Jeff Give us an example. I'm just looking for the previous work that we done.
Okay. I wonder if it's also, I don't know, because he does the prompts. He doesn't give the answers in the chat screenshots.
Mhm.
Okay, so what if I try this? It's so dark in here. Let's see what we get. Dictionary items is this. So I did not change it into a tuple. Create dictionary of tuples. No, can I put a dictionary in a tuple? No, this is not right. When it is required to add a dictionary to a tuple, you're putting a dictionary in a tuple.
Hmm.
Jing the collection type.
Do you have ChatGPT?
No, I am not that savvy.
Okay. I
Okay.
find this one. Let me share with you in the chat box.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not sure, but just
Each of the key value pair becomes a tuple, so the final list is a list whose elements are tuples. In mon dict A, we have using items. Res is equal to
I found this, but I don't know the logic behind this.
items list is equal to list. Did it work?
Yeah.
You put it exactly like this and it ran?
Yeah, just copy and paste and it runs and it you can see the tuples. But I don't know the logic behind this. I miss John.
Not figured out this stupid laptop. Hello. Not let me. Oh my gosh. What is it? Items list is equal to
Yeah. List, open bracket.
list
store prices, dot items,
Inside?
dot items, yeah.
But items.
Open another bracket.
So then it becomes close.
Yeah, and then print items less than, you can see the result.
I'm gonna print the items list. So
It's printing the pairs, the key and value pairs, but it's printing them into a list because our command was list, and we know it's a
Mhm.
list because
Mm,
it's in brackets. See the outer and the beginning and end. So, but we could
Yeah,
use this principle
like tuple.
maybe to make it a tuple.
Yeah,
1 second. Let me turn on the light.
like maybe tup.
But this is saying something like that. What are you doing? Okay. Running the above code gives us the following results. Oh, but maybe it is. So if we were, look at this. This is supposed to be a tuple. Or did it just make it into a list?
So I just use tuples instead of list.
And does it look the same?
Yeah, but just the brackets shape changed.
If we ask it what type of structure this is, let's see. You see, it's telling me it's
List.
a
Yeah,
list.
yeah.
So
If
then
it is,
you're saying right here, you're putting
yeah,
tuple.
tuples. And yeah, see what happens.
There it is. And then
Yeah,
see how it's parentheses, parentheses.
yeah, right.
So we did it.
So we don't need to have curly brackets here
No,
for
because the
tuples?
brackets will denote that it's a list.
Okay. Oh, I think curly bracket is just for dictionaries, not for tuples. Okay. Yeah, I can.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, squiggly bracket for dictionary. This straight brackets says that it's a list. And if you use parentheses, it's a tuple.
Tuple, yeah.
So so this part right here is just a variable, right? Items underscore lists. This is a
Mm-hmm.
variable, this is a variable. So we could even make it like store prices as tuple,
Okay.
right? This
Mm-hmm.
part right here, tuple inside. So yeah, it's the definition of items. So you're saying in a tuple, put store prices,
Dot items.
but then dot items. I don't feel like I,
Maybe I should highlight it and ask John tomorrow.
yeah. Yeah, let's just do that. I just,
Yeah.
I get it, but like I don't know how to define what is dot items, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. As I told you, I don't know the logic behind this. Why?
The items, which is its own function, is it in blue? Not
Uh,
necessarily.
no.
The items method in the dictionary is used to return each item in a dictionary. There you go. As tuples in a list. So syntax of items is going to be your dictionary name dot items.
Item. Mm-hmm.
So by doing this, you're saying, hey, present it as a tuple. But then, isn't that what this one is? But this one is saying, hey, display it as a tuple, change the type to tuple, and make it now its own defined item with name this variable.
Yeah. Store
Yeah.
price dot item.
That's it.
Yeah.
What is the prompt? Print, no. Print the key value pairs as a list of tuples.
There is no prompt. I'm sure John would be doing differently, like a step by step. That would be more satisfying for me, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, make
Yeah.
sure you raise it then. Tomorrow we'll ask.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Moving on. Print the key value pairs. Let me just save that as well. Store prices dot items, but use it as new list tuple store prices dot items. Okay, 12. Add entries for grape. Oh, what's gonna happen now? Is it gonna say a tuple? Yeah, because we made no. So store prices is still a dictionary, but by making something else, items list is a tuple.
Mm-hmm.
So we can go back to using store prices and we can move on. Does that make sense?
Okay.
12. Add entries for grape with a value of 1.2 and watermelon with value of 3.5 to the store prices dictionary. So don't you have to do that separately?
I think so. I'm not sure if there is another grape. I'm doing like how John did it.
How does Python allow multiple addition? No, what do I mean to say? Multiple adds. The plus equals anything on the right hand side of the plus equal will be evaluated and then will be added to the variable. Okay, so we know that we can, what is the prompt? We know that we can add something by just doing store prices equals apple 0.6. So we could do that here. It wants us to add grape
And
is
watermelon.
equal to 1.2. You an expensive fool. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna say that you're added. And watermelon. You do this already?
I'm doing it, but it doesn't show in my list and in my tuple.
We're not adding it to tuple, right?
So if you run, can you see?
Let me see. It says adding it to store prices dictionary, not the new list tuple.
Dictionary. Okay.
Yeah. If I do that and then say, can you show me store prices
I should have grape and watermelon added. Well, what's apple, orange, grape, and watermelon? Why is it printing it twice? Oh, this is still my tuple, right? Because the double parentheses, that was my tuple. And it's printing it, items list. So we're going to just not, can you not execute this command every time, please? There you go. So that should fix it. Yes, bitch. Okay, so number 12 is you have to add these two entries. So I did it separately and I added them, but the Google says, how can I add it? And it says the plus equals operator. No. No, you know what I didn't do because I didn't search. Can just Python allow multiple ads? Where is the dictionary's freaking lecture? How to add multiple key value pairs. Here we go. Update. So we could use dot update. Now I want to add multiple dictionary key value pairs to a dictionary like I did. Because I don't want to add elements one after the other. So what's the answer? So you would do d dot update and then put them in. So I'm going to repeat number 12, but this time instead of grape, I'm going to do pomegranate and lemon. Okay? So it's just repeating number 12 with the d update, which is pretty clear, but let's do it. So store prices dot update. This is updating a dictionary. I already forgot it. D update parentheses curvy bracket. Am I gonna remember this? And then I'm going to add what? What did I say?
Pomegranate.
I don't even know how to spell it.
No problem. And lemon.
Pomegranate kind of really bugs me, but that's not the point of right now. Pomegranate is expensive because it's imported. So it's $5. Now, how do I separate the list? It's just with a comma, same as last time. So comma and lemon, which will be, oh no, yeah, close the string, close the string, colon. You're gonna give it $1, 1 unit for a lemon? Okay. All right. And then show me store prices after I've added those two suckers. So I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 fruits now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the way to do it in one command.
One command.
Dot
Update. Okay.
So let me record that. I would do store prices dot update. And it's, what is it? Open parentheses, curly bracket. Key value, space, comma, key 2, value 2. Try to access the price of mango using the get method. But mango's not even in our list of fruits. What are you smoking? Right? Orange, banana, banana.
Right.
Try to access the price of mango using the get method and provide a default value.
I'm just taking note about the update function.
Mm-hmm. Where is, let me check the Teams chat again if they did like a screenshot for this is today's screenshot. Wasn't today's lesson just kind of so confusing, right? Okay, this is today, conditional statements. Hello, hello. Let's look at some dictionary. Okay, it's not in there. In the Discord. Oh, what if I want like a little cheat sheet? So Python dictionary. Oh, methods maybe, or methods if you're Jeff. Here we go. This is gonna help. So we just used update.
Git.
You know what's not here is some kind of count function. I wonder if it will just be count. See, if you do items, it returns a list containing a tuple for each key value pair. So by doing this, store prices dot items, it returns a what?
A tuple.
It returns a tuple for each pair. So we had to do tuple each pair of tuple. Never mind, never mind.
Yeah.
I think it will mess you up if I try to define how that code worked. So it's something like
Yeah.
that. You know why I'm looking at this is because number
Number
13.
13. Mm-hmm.
Oh, not 13, but 14 actually.
Oh, yeah, we don't have mango.
Yeah, this is my idea
So,
of what they're
but
trying
it
to get
says,
us to do with mango.
yeah, it says the value of not a default value of not available, which is not available. He
Which is
already mentioned.
so if we were to search mango and it doesn't have mango, so the error message it returns is key error in mango. Like I don't know what that is. So if I were to say keyword mango equals not available, then run it. Wait.
Mm.
Okay. So then it's trying to have me use the get method, get what I don't know what is it? Function versus what?
Store prices dot get, as I remember last
Yeah,
time.
what if you use dot get, what is that
Mhm.
called? Is it a function? Is it called a tool? I don't, you know how
Operator?
operator, that's one of
Yeah.
them. Function versus operator, there's a difference.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure on what that difference is. So, so if you say dot get, that's an operator, right?
Mm.
I think. Okay,
I'm not
so it's saying use the
mango.
get for mango. And so what I'm going to get is not key error mango. It's going to return not available. but it's not parentheses. This should be closed brackets. So then I run that and it'll say not available.
Mhm.
But I added mango with an equals of not available. This right here should be my key and value, right? I'm adding this. I'm
Yeah.
adding a key of mango and a value of not available, just like banana and 0.3. So if I say store prices dot get, I would think it would show me not available, but maybe I'm not understanding what the dot get function is. Returns the value of the specified key. Okay. The type error is in cell line 18. Built-in function or method object is not subscriptable. Okay, let me just see. If I want to use the dot get operator for something, say apple, I should get 0.6. But it's the same error message. That tells me it's not the fruit mango that I added it wrong.
Mhm.
It's the dot get. Oh, dot get. No, I don't think this will fix it, but it's an operator, so it's parentheses. Let me see.
Oh,
Oh, there it
it's
is.
working. Yeah.
It's working. Right? Because if we do dot values, dot items, those are operators, so it will have you put in parentheses, put whatever you want in a parentheses. But this in a bracket is saying in this dictionary, do something with this. Either find it or add it. Right? So when I do dot get, this is saying, tell me what mango is. This is saying, add it. That's what we'll go with. That's what we'll go with. So print the number of items. How you do that? But see, that's what I think this prompt is, because it says provide a default value. So
Oh, yeah.
we're going to provide that when it comes up with mango, it's going to give us that value of not available. That's how I understand this question, but I'm not sure.
Maybe we should have a short review tomorrow with John.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do 14 and 15. Let me see. Dot get parentheses. Dot get. Let's try and do print and clear real quick. Of course, print and clear. There's clear, removes all the elements from the dictionary. So let's do that last. But okay, let me search Python dictionary count. Oh, we use the length function, length method. Oh my God, I'm saying it like he is. So 14. What's happening? Okay. So let's first display store prices, because now I've added mango, which means, what is that, 7? The store prices, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I want to do a function that is show me the number 7, because that's how many value and key pairs is in the dictionary. Use the length method. So I'm going to say store prices dot length. It object has no attribute. Did you figure it out?
Can you go back to your screen? Print length.
Let's
No.
try that. Print the number of items in the dictionary. That's what we're supposed to do. But if I put, oh, because I put dot length. So this right
Yeah.
here would be the proper. Oh my God.
Okay, store price is like
No,
equal
it's
to.
not like this. It's length of store prices. 7. But then to clear it, right? To clear it, it's the other format, which is dot clear, I think.
Yeah, store
Uh,
price is dot clear.
Dot clear. Store prices dot clear. Clutter. Okay, clear. But then I want you to show me store prices to make sure that it's clear. Did you do that? Boom. Okay,
We did all of
finished.
them.
And theory. So what's the one that we have a question on? The changing it to a tuple. And then what, I'm not sure that I understand the price of mango.
I think we had question on number 10 and 11. 11, I think.
11, right? And then
11,
let's see.
yeah.
We have time to ask about 13.
Yeah,
And then we're finished.
yeah.
Right.
Thank you so
wanna
much.
record length. Yes, of course.
Yeah,
There's like so much practicing I have to do, and like I said, I need to turn in lab 24. So thank God he moved it till Friday. Because
yeah.
then there's like how many other practices he said? What? That we did this one. We did this one, which is the same as this.
Okay, so we have
Even
2
though
more
look, the file
practices.
size is not the same.
Yeah.
But I opened both of them up and they're the same
the same.
15 questions
Okay.
we just did. So then there's these two. Plus, I think this is additional. There's another slicing and list that I need to practice on. But see, I got behind and then it's catching up to me. Okay, take care, Asiba.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.